It's a new dawn for the Furs in Paradise, as we are switching co-hosts. I have one lined up, and being trained for what that means for the channel is a little scary right now, a little unknown. I wanted to get into Shocker's misdeeds, his streaming group controversy, and what you can expect from here on out. First up, what the hell happened to Shocker, and why shouldn't you worry about the direction of the channel? Well, Shocker has been a constant thorn in my side since after the DannyDaDeer video. He's been in this many total videos on screen, and that's just fucking nuts. I have given him ample time to finish scripts or record a part, and I've had to cancel multiple times because he just refused to read his part. I stopped getting people to voice videos ever since the Dracula's Blue Theory video because I could just never rely on Shocker to actually be a part of them. He would just complain all the time about me not giving him any roles when he was the one just not simply doing his task. There was an idea for an upload that's been in the works for over a year. Speaking of which, hasn't been in a video for over a year, so it was an idea talking about me and Ko's exes. And I asked for that script time and time again, but every time I asked, he just had an excuse. It was really pissing me off because he's always been on my ass about giving him something to do on the channel, and I started breaking myself down thinking it was really me who was the problem. I had a long history with abuse, with my ex-fiance cheating on me, calling me drunk, slinging whatever he can to hurt me, cutting up his leg and only showing me. Shocker's biggest excuse was the military, which is understandable if not for the fact that he would stream for 5+ hours multi times a week with another screaming group that already fell apart because of some cheating allegations. We'll get to those as well. He would refuse to stream in the channel and wanted to push his whole maid outfit stream that he's been working on. And let's go ahead and talk about that. That's a big one for me. Shocker has already scammed his audience twice, if we're ignoring the old Bitcoin shit he has on Twitter. That maid outfit stream has been promised twice and not been delivered. Someone paid him $150 fucking to do that on stream, and he moved the goalpost. 4 months later, he pops up on his own stream and says, "If we reach 100 subs, I'll do the maid outfit stream." And I was pretty torn on it. See, when you tell Shocker about anything he's done, he always goes, "Huh? Oh, I guess I did." Or outright just denying it. He's good at playing the sweet, dumb, but lovable guy. He then moved the goalpost again to 100 subs, and if I reach affiliate when he reached 100 subs, and he'll tell you it's been that way from the start, but I read that stream text before and after, and I'm not impressed. One of the things that got me to really despise him is that he neglected to tell me the truth about his recent divorce. One of the biggest things I hate in life is cheaters, and it's not hard to see where this is going. He got drunk one night and cheated on his wife, and for years he told me they just naturally drifted apart and stopped having sex. He made her out to be someone who just couldn't, and I quote, "take his dick." That's the excuse he gave to me on why they were even divorcing in the first place. Fucking brain dead, thank you, Ko. He would always lie or just neglect to tell me things. And when we started a channel together, I told him if he had something to tell me, he better, because this was the point where I started representing him. So I forced him to step down a week or two ago, and honestly, it should have just been that. He was a scumbag and a liar, and he had been dodging all duties because of some mysterious third force. He then tells me he'll do anything, and I met his new girlfriend. She was very crass. One of the first things she said that was Shocker was the only man that can make her come, which is just beyond TMI. She follows up with, "He's got a monster down there," and it's just uncomfortable all around. I played with the topics a bit, but I can tell you that I was pissy about someone talking openly like that. The way I was really introduced to her was seeing on Shocker's Twitter him fighting someone saying that his girlfriend left her child behind for some man, which at that time would have been Shocker. Now, after seeing that, I had absolutely nothing but concern. But I didn't want to actually deal with it, so I told them both to just not tell me anything about the incident. But she did, and I shared a bit about myself. She said her ex was abusive and stuff relating to that. She has a similar background as me, so I was kind of warming up to the idea of her as my friend. But she just kept yanking my chain about letting Co-Shocker have another chance. Eventually, I just kind of let it happen. But this is where the part where the tension begins the most. We hopped on a call before the day we were gonna stream, and I berated Ko about everything that I just brought up. He was very hung up on the scamming part, despite me telling him what he needs to hear. But otherwise, he admitted fault completely about not being there for me and the channel. Pretty much ever. He then promised me a time and a schedule, and we got off call. The next day I get up early, sleep a little till it was time, then waited. I waited more. I slept, waited, slept, waited. It was a cycle of sleeping and waiting for him to even respond to me. I was pretty depressed that day. My BF gets home like he does around 5, and I still wait. We watch some JoJo and still fucking wait. We eat dinner, and he shows up in my DM saying he's ready. At 7 fucking p.m. He was 6 to 7 hours late for his stream, which is beyond unacceptable. And I roast him for it, saying, I legit gave you one chance, and you've already fucking blown it. It's like you just want to hurt me, man. And he's telling me he slept all that time. His girlfriend tells me to just give him another chance. But at this point I was fed up. His position was completely revoked in under 12 hours, no less. And I told him what he needed to hear. The next day, he tells me it's stupid for me to do what I did, and that if I keep going on this destructive path, I'm gonna end up losing a lot more than friends. He then tells me I'm becoming my abusive ex, as he quoted. And that's when I really snapped. After that, I messaged the creator of my streaming group, Moon Candy, from the Candy Forest, who uses AI art for their background, by the way. Fucking idiots. About the whole situation, and she agreed completely on my side, and even demoted him, not for this reason, but because he's also made excuses and not made any time for over half a year. One excuse he gave us was that he was going on recruitment duty and moving, but he neglected to say he's been in more contact during that than when he was free. It's nuts to think he can get away with that excuse. When he was moving down from California to Texas, he was supposed to do a stream with me. Guess what? Many hours late. His excuse? Oh man, I was a little upsetty spaghetti, and I didn't want to call until I was an hour from home. It was a fucking 15-hour trip. He waited almost an entire day to talk to me again. This man's full of excuses. He dodged pretty much everything. Well, the next day, Coach Shocker hits me up saying he's ready, with a picture of one of the weakest setups I've ever seen and a picture of Black Ops 6 on his monitor. This pisses me right off, as the previous night me and his girlfriend got in an argument about why I should let Ko in again. You know, the one chance a second time. Give him the 490th chance he quote unquote deserves. I didn't want to hear it from her, so I tell Ko it's fucking nuts that he has the balls to come out and try and fix things when he hasn't even apologized for calling me like my abusive ex. He also doubled down saying I definitely was, but I could make a change. During the stream Party Animals with Alemia, he called me 25 plus times, texted me countless times, and called me names when I was just trying to have fun with a friend on stream. Before that stream was him texting me the picture of the setup. My response was, yep, already. Streaming with a friend. He said, what friend? I said, what? You think I was gonna forgive you for the abusive ex comment? Which just led into the stream and him calling me and shit like that. True fucking psychopath behavior. I texted Moon asking if I should block him or keep him there and not talk to him. But all of a sudden, she's flipped a switch. She was clearly mad about the telling the girlfriend off thing and gets really pissy. She tells me I should talk to Ko and apologize to the bitch just because she was trying to help us get back together when I told her to just back off plenty of times. Moon and I argued for 4 hours, basically just her saying, hey, it's not fair that you won't give him another chance. And me going, he's already had his countless chances. You should know better. Back off. He's been an ungrateful force in my life, and I'm cutting out the bad environment. She then tells me to stop name calling against Ko, which I get angry about too. I have that right. I tell her it's personal and not business related, but she refused to acknowledge that. She then gets pissed when I say it's her final warning before I really get upset. And she gets hypocritical real quick. She calls me a prick and says that she could just block me if I don't make friends with Ko, and I'm the one who's being stingy. God, what a fucking bitch. I'm still angry that she presented herself as someone who could hear both sides, but the moment she doesn't get her way, she breaks her own rule and calls me a prick, while removing the freedom of choice and saying it's either I add him or she blocks me. There went her true colors, a fucking control freak like Ko. So I was dealing with that shit, and I told her something personal that she's probably never going to forget. And honestly, it needs some prior knowledge to understand. She's a recovering crack addict with a child. She's not told me much about her previous husband. From what I hear, it wasn't so nice. She refuses to get a job and just put the streaming down for a day so that she can provide, since her husband hasn't been able to find work. She has a fucking child, and not doing much for that and playing games all day is ridiculous. She does not make that much money. Like pennies. So I said, just be a bad mother. You know you're great at that, and I blocked her. I had already warned her that I was going to say something she didn't like if she didn't stop. But I don't regret saying that. Sometimes you need to hear a harsh reality because no one will give you the truth. She needs to get up off her ass and provide. So that was the chaos of events that took place recently, and what a goddamn mess. I legit was just trying not to be used by Ko, and then there's 2 women who are in my face telling me to forgive him, let him hurt you more. It was literally as simple as shut the fuck up and leave it be. Fucking women. But the future of the channel has never felt so clear or so bright. Ko always dragged the channel down. I was the one who did all the recordings, scripting, editing, idea planning, streaming. God, I just never stopped working. He has not contributed since the hot takes video, and that is for the better. I loved him when we met. We bonded over our relationships. He was drunk in a fur lounge and saying, never get married. I asked why, and we bonded from there. But Ko and his group that surrounds him were always toxic. He's the abuser, and I see why he can't see why calling me your abusive ex wouldn't faze him. He's always been the abuser. He agrees that he mistreated his ex-wife, and I couldn't agree more. In a way, I'm his ex-partner too, and he can fuck right off. I have someone lined up for the co-host position who fits super well. God, I'm so excited about that. And I'm really hoping you like him as much as I do, because I really do. And he's been helping me through the process of grieving at the moment. So stay tuned, please. There will be no shift in content, and everything will be the same, except better editing and more consistent uploads. Stay safe and stay out of toxic groups. And have a good night, Furs.